it followed the same trope as other revenge films, and I feel like if it wasn't for the political Indian part of it, then it would have just been another "you killed my mom, you killed my dad, I'm gonna kill you now" type of film, which we've seen before. Like we spoke about The Northman. That's another film that's kind of like revenge. The Wrath of Man that was a Guy Ritchie film that had Jason Statham, revenge. So it had that type of feel to it. I thought it was gonna have a twist and turns in it. Like I knew how it was gonna end in the middle of the film. I knew he was gonna have the redemption moment, and I thought it was gonna be slightly different.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned the Northman. With the Northman, they actually address like these kind of movies where it's like something happens when you're a child and I have this revenge as in me and I'm building up to the point where I can actually have the revenge. With the Northman, they did it in a way where it's like he actually forgot about it, and then Willem Dafoe's character reminded him, and then he went on his revenge plot. With this movie, this guy's been on it for years.
Yeah, been playing for
like continuity wise, it doesn't really make that much. How old is this character in this movie? He has to be at least 18, 19, 20. So this character's had this vengeance build up on him for 10 or so years, probably even longer, and only now he's doing something. So to me, continuity wise,
it's
not
necessarily that, because also you need to take into, I think this is the part where we as an audience from the Western perspective might struggle with understanding it, but it's really hard due to the class system to just jump over certain barriers. So he needed to get enough money to get to the position of that low servant job. And then in order to do that, he needed to save even more money to get even... Like, it kind of showed that. But I think because we are a Western audience and we're just like, okay, like, why is it taking him so long? It's ignoring the fact that there's a scale.
I like this. I like the scale of it.
No, I'm talking about the time before that. I'm talking before this movie starts. It's like, so before where we first see our character, it's like there's a gap, there's a big time gap where he just does nothing, and then we now see him put his plan into action.
But I mean, because
like continuity wise, I'm saying like I want to understand what happened in that gap to make him delay it so long. Like he if for it makes sense, he has to be 18, but it looks at least 25 older.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about at least closer to 20-year gap of him doing nothing, and then now he's going to put his plan into action.
Well, his mum died when he was what?
11?
It was 8 or 11. He wasn't 5.
Maybe 5.
And then also, so he needed to try and find a way of looking after himself. Prior to that, he got to a position where he'd found himself housing with all those mandem. Then it was trying to find a house, then trying to find a job for himself, then having to have all that money to...
All that revenge on his mind.
Yeah. So you can't jump scale those things, I think. Yeah, it could have been...
I just really like the way the Northman did it, because the Northman, the way they did it is like he just generally just forgot about it. Like he's on his, I'll avenge you, mother, I'll whatever, father, I'll kill you,
he said that
uncle,
numerous times.
And he does it, and then he just forget. Like we do a time jump, and we reach him in a point where he's like, oh no, that whole revenge thing is gone. I just don't care about it no more. It's just left my mind. And then there's a really, really important scene with him, Willem Dafoe's character, that reminds him of this revenge that he had in his mind when he was a child, and then the movie starts taking place. The way they did it, I liked it a lot. This one, though, it just lost me a little bit. But I guess it's because I'm maybe comparing it to the Northman, because that's what came to mind when I was watching it.